Good morning, everyone, or afternoon, depending on when you're looking at this. Just in case you missed today's lecture, I wanted to go back over our PowerPoint and our instructions for your assignment today. So we're going to start with the Landforms PowerPoint. And so just think for a moment about these pictures in front of you, and what do you think the definition of a landform is? And that's what we're going to be focusing on today, landforms. So as you look at each of these pictures, what comes to mind when you hear the word landform? And if you need to pause a moment and just think, that's fine. So when we think of landforms, we really want to concentrate on the features of land itself, what we can see, the features. When you think about water features, such as lakes and ponds, imagine the shape of the land beneath the water. If we were to take all the water out of a lake or a river, what would it look like where the water was? So we have two short vocabulary terms. One, I believe, has already been introduced, and then we're going to look at the landform gallery in your FOSS ebook, which will help you to complete the landform tour assignment today. So geologist, our first vocabulary term. This is a scientist who studies the Earth, whether it's by using satellite images, like what we read yesterday in Seeing Earth, or just studying rocks on the ground. Geologists study the Earth, both present and past. Now, landforms are a natural feature of Earth's surface with a characteristic shape. So when we talk about a landform, such as a waterfall, if we remove that water, there's a very characteristic shape to a waterfall, or a lake, or even an island, which are all landforms. So now what we need to do in order to practice and learn different landforms for our assignment today, we need to access our ebook again from fossweb.com on page 132. And of course, if you're still having trouble, let your teacher know, or there are also hard copies. So we need to open up a new web page, and we're going to go to fossweb.com. Now remember, we're going to use our student email to log in, your 103 number, and then your birthday. 8-digit birthday is your password. We are in Earth History, and we're going to go under Media Library in our second column from the left, and we're going to click on eBook English, but as always, we do have it in Spanish as well. I like to click on the interactive ebook just in case I ever want to play it while and listen to it instead of reading. That is an option with this book by clicking the audio files. And we're going to go to page 132, which you can either click and use the table of contents, and we will be in the Images and Data section, Investigation 1 and Landform Gallery, or you can click on the 6 box on the bottom and type in 132, and that's our starting page. So I would use the magnifying glass with the plus symbol to zoom in, and make sure you spend some time looking at each picture, the name of that landform, as well as a definition. Now, some of these, such as a beach, you're going to be familiar with. Others, such as a crater, it would be good maybe to read, or even a delta. We've heard the word delta, but what is a delta? And then on the next 2 pages, we also have a few more. So make sure to read these 4 pages over. Spend at least 5 minutes looking through them, although you can come back to this for our assignment. So now that you have our landform gallery open, and you've looked over it, hopefully for a few minutes, we need to finish with our landform tour assignment. And so what you'll be doing today, you should have received this landforms tour sheet, and it is also posted in this assignment for you. And you are going to visit each of these 18 sites around our Earth using Google Earth. So we're going to open Google Earth and type each of these into the search bar, and then using the landforms from the gallery we just looked at, these landforms, we are going to fill in these blank areas with landforms that we think, as well as some observations and questions I would like at least 3 total questions and 3 total observations throughout this. So maybe 7, 11, and 13, you make observations, and then that is your 3, and you're done with your observations. And maybe on 2, 5, and 18, you have a question about the picture you saw, and so that would be your 3 questions. Do fill in as many landforms as you can. Our school has only 1 landform that I see, but the Aleutian Islands have 3, 4, maybe even 5 different. So see if you can identify more than one. And remember, the landforms we're using to fill in on each of these sites are from your FOSS ebook gallery that we opened right here. So our last step is to open up Google Earth, and if you type it up here in the search bar, it should find it for you, or if you go to Google, we can type in Google Earth. And it should be the first one, earth.google.com, and you'll see this loading. Now this may take a minute for your computer, and if your computer can't handle it, which some computers cannot, I recommend maybe moving next to a partner, or if you're at home and you have another computer or even a cell phone, they can get on Google Earth as well. And so we want to focus just on the search bar right here, and this is where we are going to type in each site we're using. So the very first one, if we go back to our Landform tour document, is my school. And of course we're all at Monte Vista Middle School. So when we go here into the search bar, we're going to type that in, and it should give you a few options. We of course are going to click the one in Tracy. And Google Earth will load for us. And so now we just want to look at our site. We can click out of this here, and you can zoom out with the minus symbol, or we can zoom in, and we can even change our view to a more side view, but still above. And so you want to go back to our gallery and figure out, well, we know there's not a waterfall. We know it's not that landform. We know it's not a volcano. But is it a sand dune? Is it a plateau? Is it a plain? And remember, you can read these different definitions to find them. Once you're done with number 1, you of course are just going to go to number 2, type in Mount St. Helens, then the number 3, and each one you're going to write the landforms you believe. If you have any other questions or problems, please let your teacher know. Good luck and have fun with Google Earth.